Hello everybody, this is Alexandre Zar. This is my first video for 2019. It's kind of close to the end of the first month of the year, so yes, let's get cracking. Without any further ado, today I want to show you a tutorial on how to pick the best the best type of vehicle for you. And in order to do this, I need to explain some basic concepts. First, I need to explain you what types of cars or vehicles are out there and what types of engines are being used to move those kind of vehicles. So basically, we have four main categories: passenger vehicles, we have recreational vehicles, we have utility vehicles, and we have industrial vehicles. The types of fuels which are available are fuels such as petrol, diesel, or gas. From the green energy point of view, we have electric engines, we have atomic engines, compressed air engines, and Stirling engines. Good. So without any more delay, I just want to share with you that on the passenger side, types of vehicles, we have around 14 different car body types. So my favorite and first choice for me, or at least in my case, would be the station wagon. It's a widely used car body because it is still elegant but also practical due to the interior space, and also it provides greater stability throughout corners, greater stability throughout high speeds. Uh, Even the drag coefficient is better compared to its counterpart, smaller brothers. Yeah, so always you can find this type of body in a five-door configuration. The next, let's say, body type is the Targa. It's quite rare and will in most cases be seen on sports cars. Uh, it will be mostly always in a two-door configuration. The crossover is a vehicle which it's a mix between the hatchback and a small off-road vehicle. It can be found in three or five-door configurations. Such examples can be found in real life, most often also in around town and also on light off-road um, scenarios. The van is, let's say, a must-have for the small business, for the small worker. They are also found in different sizes, small vans, light vans, you name it. They have two seats as a minimum and can extend up to five seats. Also, they can have from two doors up to six doors, depending on the car maker. So, yeah, it can be quite tricky in some cases. The minivans, well, they are intended for large families. Yeah, you know the soccer moms found on American movies or also in American real life. Um, they're not that really widely spread, in my opinion, around Europe. Probably they, let's say, make up for 25 to 30% of the cars found in the US. Yeah, so the they can always be found in around five doors configuration. The liftback is quite um, a unique sort of body style. It started coming as a thing from the 2005, 2006 when the new CLS was introduced by Mercedes, and then cars like car makers like Audi and some other car makers started picking up that coupe looking like sedan body style, the liftback, also known. It can be found in four doors or five door configurations. So yeah, the convertibles are also rarely found on the streets. Only in the summer you see more of them, but in the winter you can see very few of them. They come with a hard top or a soft top, depends. They are mostly found in two-door configuration. The pickup truck, well, this is something interesting. The pickup truck has some sort of off-road abilities compared to a van. Yeah, it can be found in 2 seats, 3 seats configuration, and it can even have, in some cases, 5-seat configurations. It can have 2 doors or 4 doors as a maximum. They are very useful and they're a very great all-rounder. The off-road vehicles can be found in a wide range of 3 doors and 5-door configurations. As the name suggests, they are mostly dedicated for off-road use and very little on-road capabilities. The Roadster is for that kind of person who is in his midlife crisis, if you want, and picks up a sports car, and there you have it. It's a two-seater car. It can either have a soft top or a hard top like the convertible car. Um, in most cases, it is mainly a two-seater and a two-door configuration. So then you have the coupe. It's a two-door car, sportier car, sport pedigree, very little practicality. It can have 2 or 4 seats depending on the car maker. And then you have the run-of-the-mill sedan, 4-door family car. Um, let's say very good practicality, not as good as the station wagon, but still better than the hatchback. It is always found in 4-door configurations, and mostly it has 5 seats inside of it. Rarely you see some 4-door sedan with 4 seats. If it would be a 4-seater, it can, let's say, be known as a liftback. So also it would have a bit different rear end. And then we have, last but not least, the hatchback. It's a 2-door or 5-door, actually 3 doors or 5 doors, smaller vehicle. It's based basically on the sedan. The sedan is being used as a starting point. To the rear side of it, it's being chopped off by the car maker. It gets a decreased practicality. It's also lighter compared to a sedan counterpart. Gets a little bit lower fuel consumption, but yeah. So that's kind of it. 3 or 5 door configuration, 5 or 4 seats, depending on car maker. The Limousine, basically, it has no utility for the average person. At the performance is not a key factor in this vehicle. Functionality is also not a key factor. Comfort and status are the main key players in the character of this type of vehicle. So I talked about the passenger vehicles. Now let's go to the recreational vehicles. The form factor of an RV varies greatly. It can be, let's say, um, a small one which is built on a small flatbed van, or a big one which is built on a bus chassis. And some people like buying camping trailers which they tow with their personal cars. So next type of vehicles are the utility vehicles. They come in many shapes and purposes. I will only talk very so lightly about them. Tow trucks, one of the main players of today's on-road activity. The tow trucks are used for vehicle transportation, recovery, towing, and that kind of activities. The transport vehicles are known as small vans, light trucks, big rigs, and stuff like that. Next, we have the industrial vehicles. They also come in many shapes and purposes. We'll only talk very so lightly also about these ones, bring into discussion the agricultural vehicles. We have the well-known tractor, we have the well-known harvester. I don't know much more than this, so I'm not gonna talk about other types of vehicles or tools. The construction used vehicles, well, basically you can see in this picture what kind of vehicles are used for constructions. Not going to bother you with those details. Just want to talk right now about the types of fuel used by engines. We have the internal combustion engine, which can be split into three directions. We have the petrol engine, we have the diesel engine, and we have the natural gas powered engine. Also, the natural gas powered engines can use petrol in some instances. What I can say about the petrol engine, it's intended for sport activities mainly, also for all-around use, but you don't get the advantages which you get from the diesel, like the high torque, low fuel consumption, and stuff like that. And the gas fueled engine, well, basically that uh, gas fueled engine runs cheaper than the diesel because of the low uh, price for fuel, and you don't get the benefits of the diesel, but you kind of get some sort of a cheaper maintenance if you want petrol engines, something like that. Then we have the green energy cars. We have the electric vehicle, we have the atomic uh, powered car, we have the compressed air car, and we have the Stirling vehicle. Uh, yeah, this is mainly put in few words. And as a final conclusion, let's say if you're an average person around 30 years old with a family of made out of four members, you, the wife, and or the husband, the wife, and two children, you are probably best with using a passenger vehicle, namely a station wagon. If you plan going off-road, you can use either the crossover or an off-road vehicle. Let's say if you're a wealthy teenager and are a sporty type, sports-oriented guy, you can definitely go for a Roadster or for a coupe or for a convertible for that matter. These are just two examples, but basically the general guidelines of how to choose your cars are the types of usage, personal, recreational, utility, industrial, basically what we talked about. Mainly an average person buys a personal or recreational vehicle, at most recreational. A worker or a company will buy an utility vehicle or an industrial vehicle. Yeah, it makes more sense for them. The types of engines, up until now, most spread engines were internal combustion ones. Fuels used to power these internal combustion engines were the diesel, petrol, or gas. Nowadays, the car makers came with electric engines or solar-powered cars. In the past, well, there were some attempts to make a nuclear-powered vehicle. You can search that up on Google. It will tell you more details. Or you can search the Stirling engine-powered vehicle, yeah, the AMC. Why to choose a diesel car? Well, in my opinion, the diesel car always gets low fuel consumption. You get higher torque, you get good towing capacity, and you get good drivability in twisty roads or on uphills. Yeah. Be careful, I'm talking about generic diesel car. I'm not even saying the word turbo diesel. So it's just a diesel car. The turbo diesel is even better at getting a lower fuel consumption. You get even more higher torque ratings, even more horsepower ratings, greater towing capacity, greater drivability in twisty roads or on uphills. So yeah, there are also the cases where you can get, let's say, supercharged and turbocharged diesel engines, also known as twin-charged engines. Why to choose a petrol car? Well, if you are more sports orientated, if you like high horsepower ratings compared to the diesel counterpart, and yeah, well, we have to face it, the low acquisition cost of the petrol engine is, um, let's say, unbeatable at the moment compared to its diesel counterpart. Yeah, so also for the petrol engines, you have the turbo petrol, you have the twin charged petrol engine. Um, and why to choose a gas-powered car? Well, it can run both petrol or gas. In some cases, both gas or diesel. Uh, the low fuel cost per same covered distance. or as I would like to call it, the fuel economy, meaning penny per mile, is really close to a diesel. Better for the environment, in my opinion, compared to its petrol or diesel cousin. Why to choose a petrol hybrid or a diesel hybrid? Well, one of the two are working together with an electrical engine, so all above mentioned advantages are applicable here with even greater improvements. You get higher performance, lower fuel consumption, and yeah, basically that's it. And I'm Alexandre Zar, and I would like to thank you for watching this video. If you appreciate the video, like, share, subscribe. Hope to see you very soon on the next video. Cheers and bye bye.